Hey, good evening. Let's talk to family. Let's talk family. Welcome to our review show. Usually on Mondays we review Power, The Shy, whatever we're reviewing during that season. But tonight we got a special review show. We're going to review You're Watching Video Music Box documentary on the history of Video Music Box that's on Showtime. Came out about almost 2 weeks ago, and and away we go with this elaborate crew here we got here. What's up, you guys?
What's going on?
I like the new intro.
Hey, it is what it is,
New artwork, new intro, new year.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing stopping the movement.
Well, Dwayne, I know that you really wanted to do this. I know that you're watching it now. Refresh us on what is Video Music Box. A lot of people don't know. Those of us of a certain age, we understand. The younger people um, may not understand, have heard of it, and why Video Music Box was so important.
Video Music Box was so important because hard for kids to understand. But before we were able to afford cable fully, all we had was 2, 4, 5, 9, 11, 13, 25, 31, 68. And sometimes if you tuned it in just right, you may get some other weird channel. But this is all we had, man. And you had a young man at 20 years old, Ralph McDaniels, start Video Music Box when he was interning at a Manhattan local access in Manhattan. And, for a lot of us, even when we got a little bit older, because this started in 1983, I know for myself, I used to run home to catch Video Music Box because MTV really wasn't for us,
Yeah,
quite honestly.
MTV
Only,
only played Michael Jackson, and he alluded to that. He alluded to that in the documentary, that the
yeah.
only thing MTV did play was Michael Jackson.
So I just, I've always been a fan of Video Music Box. And when you think about it, this man is still on the air to this day with Video Music Box, and he started it in 1983. So think about that. Non-stop from 1983 to present day. It's still Video Music Box. And a lot of people don't know that Video Music Box still comes on. Comes on channel 25 now, but it still
I didn't know it
comes
still came
on.
on.
Yeah,
Yes.
the documentary is produced and directed basically by Nas. Um, Very good documentary. Very interesting. He talks about some of the behind the scenes stuff that went on. Keisha, what did you like about the documentary? Anything that
Um,
caught you, like, surprised you?
it did surprise me. We all watch Video Music Box. I like the nostalgia. It really made you feel like you was back there. At the time that it was happening. Um, I like to see how enterprising and stuff we was at such a young age. Because he was really young, and he felt like him and his partner, it was something missing, and they tried to find like this niche market, I guess, for us. Um, and sometimes when you grow up in the suburbs from a little girl, you know, I liked MTV. I didn't know I was miss. I didn't know it was something missing until it was Video Music Box.
Okay, okay.
You
Dwayne,
know.
you got some more? I know you got some more. I know you watching it now, Wayne.
I mean, everybody say they want to give a shout out to this one and that one, man. That started with Video Music Box, right?
Right.
Like they made that the thing to do.
They
I love the
normalized it.
right, and I love the vintage videos from the club. Wendy Williams was at the Peppermint Lounge and he starred. And you just remember that, man. The shout outs used to be the funniest part of the show to be, like, because people shout out crazy stuff. And you had a lot of characters on the show. Ralph was always straight with his, but you had the Vid Kid, who became one of the greatest video music directors of all time, Lionel C. Martin.
Yeah,
And Ralph directed videos himself. Wu Tang, you know, did a lot of stuff with Nas. So it was ironic. Well, not ironic. It's funny that Ralph introduced Nas to the world with his little piece that he put together. And now you got Nas really telling his story. So they kind of came full circle together, you know? One thing that bothered me, not bothered me like in a bad, negative way, I need Ralph to do a better job with his archive videos, man. I'm nervous. Like, he looked like he got them things in the storage unit somewhere.
On
Like,
the VHS tape.
yeah, somebody got to help Ralph, like, archive that stuff a little bit better because that's history right there, man.
I mean, he got his wife, well, his daughter, because I think his wife is around the same age as him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I love the documentary. I thought it was awesome. I thought that you know, a lot of people talk about giving people their flowers. I think Ralph McDaniel's flowers is way overdue. I think that Ralph McDaniel should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because really, if you can't tell a story of something without mentioning somebody's impact on it, then that means they need to be talked about when you talk about music. Ralph McDaniel's, you can't speak about the story of hip hop and the culture that hip hop brought without talking about Video Music Box and its effect on the music, definitely in the tri-state area. Even though Ralph McDaniels was playing what we would consider uncut videos back then on certain episodes, he was playing videos. We'd be like, "Who the heck is that?" And he brought NWA to us. He brought everything to us that we did not know about in the country. So it's interesting that
and it wasn't just urban music.
No.
Yeah, he played everything.
He played everything.
Even in the documentary, they mentioned that the Hall of Notes, and I remember watching Hall of Notes for the first time on Video Music Box.
Yeah, them was some bad white boys.
They were. I'm a big Hall of Notes fan.
So one of the things that I believe is that, you know, you got to give him his flowers. It's a shame, and I was telling Dwayne, Keisha, is that a lot of these older artists don't have the financial money that they may should have. If you look up allegedly his net worth, you'll be disappointed.
Ralph McDaniel.
And it's I already looked it up, Keisha. You don't have to say it.
I'm about to look at
and it's almost a shame that he didn't get the credit, or now is just getting his flowers. So a lot of these artists that got all this money, they really need to be, you know, have Ralph around, letting people know who Ralph is and his impact not only on just their career but everybody's career. He was there. He's got the archives that people probably go to now to do documentaries or movies on hip hop because nobody has that footage. He always had access to these parties. I used to say to myself back in the day, they be doing the shout outs and the parties look like they was always hot because people be looking sweaty.
Yeah.
So I used to be like, how the heck Uncle Ralph always was at every scene. And he bought a lot of the artists. I remember in one of the parts of the documentary, he talked about Kool G Rap. And a lot of people thought Kool G Rap came out in 88, 89, but actually It's a Demo was like 83, 84. So he could basically tell, like, you can't explain hip hop without Ralph McDaniel. So I thought that was really interesting. I'm glad that Nas decided to do this, and I'm surprised that more people aren't talking about it because I know we easily get distracted on what's going on in the world. But this documentary was well done. Showtime did an excellent job. Nas did an excellent job. And people should be talking about the documentary more.
Yeah, especially for it being out for a month. It actually premiered December 3rd. So, and
let me tell you, I feel like they didn't do no promotion. I caught it. Y'all know I don't sleep. I caught it on a Humble.
I caught it on a Humble too. Like, and that's when I called Quentin. Like, yo, I didn't even know this thing was out here like this. And I watched it 4 times, and I find something interesting every time. Like, I kind of forgot that Wendy Williams was on Video Music Box. You know, at first person, I was wanting to see my man. They made me wait, but they gave me Crazy Sam, man. Crazy Sam was just that. You wanted to find out, where Sam gonna be at today, because he'd be in the park sometime, like. You ain't know where he was gonna be. And
Yeah,
that joke is still crazy.
yeah. It's very, very interesting documentary. I mean, like I said, I truly enjoyed it. One of the things that I was shot at is the Vid Kid. You know, I used to always wonder what happened to him, and then when I put the real name with the Vid Kid, I'm like, oh, I know who he is by his real name, and he been around all that time. And I thought the Vid Kid basically had disappeared. And I thought the story that he was talking about with being shy on camera was interesting because a lot of people don't know that. Some people are just, they just like to talk, but they don't like to be on camera, or they just, always around the scene. And it's amazing, like Dwayne said, when you go back to Video Music Box doing stuff at the Peppermint, which was close to where all three of us grew up at. And then you think about like the people like Bob Sumner, when Bill Bellamy got started, like all these artists, whether they comedians or singers or whatever, or actors, they all basically were local people that got started like right in the same circles. Dwayne, you may not know it. I tell Keisha this all the time. When people be saying stuff bad about Wendy, I'll be defending Wendy. Because I think that Wendy is the reason that most people that do YouTube and have these sites, she's the godmother of all of it. Wendy was the original drama queen, I guess they would say, and to see how we knew
She's
Wendy
the
as
original
always,
mess.
yeah, we knew Wendy as always being messy or all that, but Wendy actually been doing it for, almost 40 years, man, and now she's
Listen,
going through her personal problems.
you wouldn't have some of the people doing what they doing today without Wendy. People gotta remember she got Charlemagne started in this area. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
And
You
now
know,
look what he doing, worthless.
you know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, you know, Angie Martinez would be no Angie Martinez without Wendy Williams. People think Angie is the original. Nah, Angie is a rider.
yeah. I was shocked that somebody that I had the opportunity to meet was in the documentary. Tuffy, Tuffy's a good guy, man. He's a real nice brother, man. He so when I knew that they would, because of the documentary, he would be on there. But it's like when you realize how MTV basically stole what Ralph was doing, and
It's interesting.
Ralph never sold out to the corporate giants.
Well, he
And
went to
that's why I
MTV,
respect him.
but he went to MTV, and they kind of was like, nah, we ain't gonna mess with hip hop, this, that, and the other. Then a couple of years later, they come with Yo MTV Raps with Fizzle. And Ralph never fizzled, man. Like, man, to your point, you look at his net worth, and you talk about giving people flowers. I could be naive, but it don't seem like Ralph even care. It seems like he's very content with what he's
Yeah,
doing and what he has done. Like, he don't
He's comfortable where he's at in life.
absolutely, you know? And but yeah, more people need to give him his prop. Like, think about it, man. He's showing some old video footage of interviews he did, and you seeing a young LL Cool J. You seeing Aaliyah. Like, you seeing Mos Def so excited because I'm on video music box. He's like, I want to give a shout out. And he started laughing, and you see vintage footage of Monet. I'm sorry, Mary J. You see it.
Did you say Kane Mama?
Yeah.
oh boy,
You see Heavy D, and you remember Heavy D when he first came on the scene was rocking the Coca-Cola gear, the red, the white, with the Coca-Cola hat, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like Quentin said, you see COVID was in the building.
you see a young Jay-Z.
You see COVID was in the building even back
Yeah.
then when the people was all on top of each other. God bless.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when I looked at them videos, even when he during the documentary, and I see how they was on top of each other in the sweat, and all I keep saying to myself is, Dwayne, those shout outs were epic.
I love
He even played a shout out during the documentary. I laughed when dude was like, "I like to give a shout out to all the dudes in Sea Caucus, all the dudes down in Yarville." And a lot of people that know is that they had a facility in Secaucus, New Jersey back then. And it's like, wow, like, you out, and at the end of the day, Ralph is giving you a chance to say what you want to say, and you know to, as we would say, give somebody else credit and give a shout out.
Right.
And I was bugging out with some of the young ladies saying, I like to give a shout out to my boyfriend. He know who he is.
Yeah, we know who he is too. All 6 of them, like my man said. But I can remember even when I was young, they was like, I want to give a shout out to my kids. My kids at home right now.
I think
hope
one of
they-
the girls did do that.
Yeah, all 3 of them. Shantae, it makes you realize how far we've came, far as music, video production, because you'll never see another show like that. Nobody can duplicate what Ralph has done. It's basically Ralph shows you the authenticity of the artist, because if you look at the artist, you'll say, "Damn, I remember he was on Video Music Box," and then you see once they start selling records and making money, you see their clothes change, their friends change, everything around them change. They grow.
And think about it, right? Ralph's still showing music videos. MTV don't show music videos anymore.
I don't know what MT.
They don't show music videos.
YouTube is
anymore.
like the only thing I know that if you want to find a video, this is where you go. You go to YouTube, right?
Now understand that Ralph's shows now is all his vintage stuff, but his interviews and everything are very current. Like I just watched the episode the other night, and he had the Furtado brothers on there, and they was doing gift giveaways even during this pandemic, and Ralph is who he is, man. So he said, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna give the mic to you all for you to tell everybody what's going on. You will never get these personalities to do that nowadays. To remove themselves off the mic.
One of the things that Ralph said, hey, good evening, Nicole. One of the things that Ralph said during the documentary, and I kept forgetting to say it to Dwayne, but I knew Dwayne knew it, but I'm gonna remind everybody is that Ralph McDaniel teaches at the library.
Wow.
A lot of people may not realize this. For us in our generation, it may be like a pinch you moment, but hip hop is on the curriculum at a lot of colleges. Karis One teaches at one of the colleges. I know it's a brother named Black Dot who has a podcast called Urban X. Very good podcast with him and his son that I check out every now and then. He actually was teaching at one of the colleges. He has a book actually called Hip Hop Decoded, which talks about the history of hip hop. He's from the Bronx. He was there in the beginning. So it's like we got to understand that what we were raised around and what we witnessed with our own eyes and the culture that we come from, that area time of the culture, is becoming history.
Good.
And as they say, you might as well sell it if you're going to tell it.
Uh-huh.
So, if you have a piece of that history, if you was there, going to the rink, going, skate key back in the day, hanging up on the concourse, doing those type of things, you have a certain piece of history that you have with you that you could be sharing with people that a lot of people may not understand.
Yeah, but you see him backstage with Run DMC and the Fat Boys and all that stuff. You see him interviewing DMX, the Wu-Tang Clan, and just on and on and on, man. When you think about Ralph McDaniels, when you think about Stretch and Bobbito, like, man, we owe them jokers a lot, man.
Mm-hmm.
They let our records be played.
And even Puffy, it's funny. Puffy even talked about when Hot 97 allowed him to play. Well, Ralph was the first person to play the Craig Mack video, and then I remember Stretch and Bobbito started playing the Craig Mack song on Hot 97, which actually was the theme song to Midtown Millers basketball team back then. We came out with that Unbelievable by Craig Mack with Bad Boys, and it's funny that it was almost 30 years ago when that album came out with Craig Mack, and how it led to Bad Boy, and now Puffy is basically the owner of his own network with Revolt TV and everybody that's under Revolt, and how things just continue to grow. And it all started from basically a little area in the South Bronx where hip hop began.
Yeah, like I said, because I even told my nephews when I was talking about it. I told them, Google Lionel C. Martin. See how accomplished that man was in the video making industry. And to think he was the Vid Kid, man,
The Vid
on
Kid.
Video Music Box, man.
And I used to always bug out because he always wore shades in the
Yeah.
parties. I'm like, yo, why dude always got shades? He's like, it's the Vid Kid. And you
And
know, they
Lionel-
was always older than us, but they were always cool.
Right. And
So
then
I used to be like, he always say that.
As a point of reference, Lionel C. Martin doesn't just do hip hop videos. No,
Right.
no. He does all genres, man. Like, he's amazing. Like, and it started, as Keisha said, Ralph McDaniels was 20 years old, man, when he started Video Music Box. Think about that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he was young.
I mean, I think that a lot of times, even when we see a lot of people that's on big production, now we always be like, you know, they got there, you know, some people got there with the nepotism, some people got there from other avenues, but you got some
Listen.
people that really was out here in these streets.
I
You know,
think him and his
basically,
partner was out here in these streets because he was a DJ, right?
the Furtado brothers was.
Furtado Brothers was definitely out there.
The Furtado brothers was in the streets. It's well known. They'll tell you though. It's well known that
Google
cases is well
them.
known.
There's documentaries.
And they even said that in the documentary. Google who they are.
There's documentaries on the Furtado brothers. You can find
Yeah,
that.
no, I know that, but that was his little Spanish Afro Latino friends. But I'm talking about he was DJing parties and different stuff. Like he was doing
yeah. So it goes back to as
them
we
Afro
say,
Latino friends. That was my type about 30
And
years
think
ago.
about it. Look at who his mother's cousin was.
yeah,
That man was on James Bond movie, 7-Up commercial, Fantasy Island. You know, as soon as
The plane.
as soon as I saw him come up on the screen, I was like, "Oh, word! He related to Ralph's mother."
that was my man from the 7-Up commercial when we were kids.
And I like how they even talked about white flight and how he moved into an area where he was called the N-word for the first time. Like, you know, never seen Ralph McDaniels' wife ever. And
She's black.
Okay.
Dwayne,
to y'all point,
oh yeah,
sometimes it just takes you being connected with the right person. I know I'm about to say a name that's been quote unquote discussed a lot on the Let's Talk 2 platform. But you look at a cat like Wallow, him and his cousin, man, Barstool. Once they hit Barstool,
yeah, they was doing their thing on YouTube on their YouTube channel, and then Barstool decided to sponsor them, and that just took them to a whole nother level. You know, it brought them a different audience actually.
And
so
now he got the women coming at him.
They coming at him. They everything they could throw at him, they throw him.
Easy on my brother.
They coming at him.
So with that,
Art
like,
out here,
you know,
okay.
you never know. Like it's funny when you think about that that music industry. If you go to like the younger kids now, and you'd be like, "Yo, I remember it was street teams." They would look at you like, "Street teams? What are you talking about?"
Remember that?
I remember that.
Remember that?
You'd be like, "Yo, street teams, yo." And I know a guy who made a lot of money and got really famous just being basically a runner. And what he used to do is he used to go to all the ciphers and get and weed through and get the artists and then take their demo to some of the record labels. And he really got famous and made a lot of money, and he got a lot of connections. This is how the people like World Wide West got started.
Yeah.
You know, you just gotta just know people. If this is what you want to do, you gotta be able to
Network.
able to connect, be the plug of the plug.
It's how Ray Donovan got
No,
started.
you got to be the distro. That's what it's called.
It's how my man Ray Donovan got started.
Yeah, absolutely, the fixer, right? So I really, like I said, I really like the documentary.
Can we talk about something though?
Absolutely, Dwayne.
Uh-oh.
Can we get Fat Joe to stop putting that fake beard on his face?
That's Beijing.
Can we stop? Can someone tell this man to stop it, please? Even in this documentary,
We're gonna give Joey Crack a pass.
Maybe he's not leaking. I've been drinking.
All right, that's all I really got to
you
say.
even
man.
had Ludacris on the video music.
I mean, he was there. I mean, this is when, as they say, New York was the capital of hip hop. Now a lot of people say Atlanta.
Did you see the old school video of Jermaine Dupri when he was
dancing, right? Yeah, he was with the twins from Houdini.
Yeah.
It's funny. I got some vintage Houdini pictures in my phone. I had put them on Instagram one time, and the guy was like, the guy that do all those vintage pictures, inbox me, was like, yo, you know everybody in the picture? I'm like, yeah, I know everybody in the picture. And he was like, yo, can I use the picture? I said, nah, I can't. This picture's not.
Rest in peace to Exidy, man. Rest in peace to that brother.
Some of the stuff I got on my phone, this ain't authorized.
Yeah, man.
But anyway,
and it's funny because it had that beat. You knew when Video Music Box was coming on. You heard it.
Yeah.
You heard it. And they were everywhere, man. Like, this man was going to Atlanta to the Outcast barbecues. Like, he was everywhere. He's been everywhere. Ralph's been everywhere, man. And it's sad in a sense because there is no promotion of this. Like, no one's talking about this, man.
Yeah, they used to even have even now when they still have Summer Jam, or even before, back then they had the Jack the Rapper thing down in Atlanta, the conference down there. They used to have a bunch of stuff, and even it's crazy how with all the resources that hip hop has now, they have less functions than they have now than they used to have back in the day. Back in the day, they had more things to do.
They
and a lot of people did a lot of
hip
stuff.
hop summit. I think I went to it in Miami, where they was Puffy was teaching people the business and investing and all this other stuff, because we got pictures with Bone Thugs at one of these.
Remember that phase?
Yeah.
You couldn't tell us we were from Ohio.
Listen, man, but think about how far hip hop has come, and you coming up on 50 years of hip hop music, coming up on that. And to think you got people like President Obama quoting lyrics, and you see all this stuff, he dropping mics and stuff like that, man.
Even in the documentary, you see Hakeem Jeffries quote
Hakeem Jeffries.
He quotes the Biggie line on the house floor.
Yeah, Damon John.
I think VP said she was infatuated with Tupac.
Come on. Who? Come on, Keisha. Kamala Harris.
Oh, when she was running around with Montel Jordan? Montel Williams, rather?
I think it was.
You talking about Willie. Let's stop. Okay.
Listen. But let's think about this, too. Ralph is more and was more than just playing music videos. He brought real life issues to the show. He talked about different things.
Going to the prisons.
Which spawned a show like this, man. Man, Teen Summit was amazing. Not only because
I appreciate Teen Summit.
Not only because Lisa Johnson Smith was hosted and she was delicious looking. It was just Teen Summit gave you everything. Yes, I said she looked delicious. Yes. But she married a simp in Charles Smith who couldn't make a layup against the Bulls on 6 attempts. And he got the audacity to be able to go home to a woman like that. But that's okay. We won't talk about that. But it's a lot of things out there like, you need a Teen Summit nowadays, especially what's going on in this world. And that was a great show, man. Like, Video Music Box spawned 106 in Park. Remember 106 in Park? Another big-time show on BET. But now, we want Basketball Wives and Real Housewives. And we want to get on these platforms and talk about Fuquan not taking care of his baby. And Maury Povich, Antoine, you are the father. Like, this is what we want to view today. You understand what I'm saying?
Dwayne just went on the rant.
And that's why we get this nonsense on our platform by the same individuals over and over and over again with this damn man bashing. Stop it. We're tired of it.
Well,
find some
with
peace
that,
and joy in your life, because I know y'all got peace and joy in your life. Find it.
Are we wrapping up?
With that, great show tonight. Any final words, you guys? Well, Keisha, any final words?
No.
No final words.
Roy, he a simp because he missed that layup.
Anybody that haven't,
he went up like a man, he would have got fouled.
Anybody that has not watched the documentary, you're watching Video Music Box on Showtime. Make sure you check it out.
Shout out to Nasir Jones.
You'll really see your childhood. You'll really see your childhood
played out in
front of you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So with that, until next time, we'll be back next Monday with our review show of Power Book 2, Ghost Episode 6.
Listen,
yes, honey.
Support our shows, man. There's some new shows. There's some new shows out there that people may sing. They see the trailers and they may think they're corny, but watch Abbott Elementary, man. I saw the first episode. I thought it was kind of funny. Grand Crew that come on NBC. I saw that a couple of times. It wasn't really my thing, but I'm gonna keep with it. You know, I set it on the DVR, but we have an opportunity to still see us, you know, but we got to support it. Because we didn't support shows like For Life, they're no longer on the air. We didn't support a show like All Rise. It's no longer on the air, but Oprah picked that up. So even if you think it's corny, The Wonder Years, support it. Because we got to.
The Wonder Years is actually phenomenal.
I like it.
I'm gonna sit and try to watch.
Well, make sure you support this channel by sharing, subscribing to the YouTube channel as well as on Facebook.
Back on the ranch, support this channel.
With that, have a great week, and we'll see you guys next week.
Good night.